take the picture, Lisa.
Okay, thanks. So do I wait till 3:15 or?
You're good.
I can start?
Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. All right. Welcome everybody. You guys all made it back from lunch, so that's good. I have a little thing going with Shawnee next door of who can be louder, and I think we can. So we're going to do a little Scentsy Spirit. Alrighty, so Scentsy Spirit! Spirit! Wow, you guys have heard in first class. Okay, so my name is Lisa Babb, and I'm a Scentsy Family Star Director. I joined Scentsy back in September of 2010. I basically loved the product and was buying it over and over and over, and my husband finally one day sat me down and said, I think it's time you need to join. You're buying the product, you might as well, make a little money off of what you're doing and at least support your habit, which I'm sure is something that a lot of us can relate to, right? That's where we all start at. So I was at the time doing a basket party. It was September. I like to start my Christmas shopping early, so I was doing the basket party, and that was when I decided to go ahead and join. So it was really nice because when I went to join, I already had my $500 in order, so boom, I hit my shooting star. So that was great, hit my first goal without even really trying, which was a great kickstart to my business. So again, I joined just for fun. I'm not a salesperson, I'm not a public speaker. This is way out of my comfort zone what I'm doing today. So when I joined, it was just for something because Scentsy was a passion of mine. I love the product, so why not get the discount? So I started to get some requests for home parties and that type of thing, and okay, sure, why not? I'll do a home party. And I was starting to get more and more, and I was starting to then kind of start to see that there was a little potential in what I was doing. Well, as you know, you can only go so much with your family and friends, right? Mom, dad, brother, sister, grandma. They're only going to buy so much. You've worked them over, and now it's time to grow on to get to the next level. So I knew if I was going to make this a legitimate thing, I needed to step it up. I can't just rely on them to do parties for me. Ever since my daughter was born, and she's 15 now, I always wanted to stay home with my children. I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, so I can be there for my kids at any time. Did all the research of, the work from home, make millions from home, do this, do that, and none of it was legitimate. And so I was a little skeptical with Scentsy that I could actually make it something legitimate. But things were, I'm starting to see it, that this stuff sells itself. It is pretty easy. So after I hit my shooting star, of course, the next level is sensational, level 1, 2, or 3. So that was kind of cool. It pops up on your workstation. You've got something to set as a goal. And so I thought, well, shoot, why not? Hit the first. Maybe I can hit level 1. And I did. Of course, I had joined in September, so I kind of had the momentum of the holiday fall season, which was great. And so I hit level 1, and I thought, well, let's try for level 2, because I really want more free stuff. So I hit level 2, and then of course now I went, well, let's try for level 3, because I want $200 in free product. So I pushed and pushed, and I was able to hit sensational level 3, which really got me jump-starting my business and got me really pumped and excited. So I then went, okay, I hit the 2 goals Scentsy set for me, which is amazing. I've never been a goal setter, and it really taught me to make my own goals, because those were gone. My workstation didn't show anything what I needed to do next, but I needed to make my own personal goals. So the thing for me that I wanted to achieve is I wanted to become a director, and I wanted to quit my job. I really wanted to stay home with my 2 young children. So I had my stickies on my computer of my goals that I was going to do that. But how am I going to do that? I can't just rely on the little bit I had with family and friends. I needed to go to the next level. So I decided I needed to start networking. And what is networking? It's kind of a broad word, and what does that really mean? And really, networking is you're building relationships and trust with others, and that's what you need. Because for a referral, if I was to call you and say, I need someone to babysit my children, do you know somebody? You're going to refer someone that you trust and that you know. And a personal relationship is going to go a long way. If I need someone to paint my house, I'm going to ask you for a referral, and you're going to tell me someone that did a really good job painting your house. You're not going to pick a random person out of the phone book. And that's what I needed. I need personal referrals. I needed to build relationships for people to trust me. I'm selling myself. Yes, Scentsy sells itself. We all sell the same product, but I want to sell myself and have everybody love the product along with me. Also, when you're networking, you learn from other business owners. You are around other business professionals, and you are learning things that they have achieved and things that they've done with promotions and things that they've overcome with obstacles. So it's a great way to learn from other business professionals. What I learned really quickly, like I said before, is I needed to grow my contact base. Every person here knows about 250 people in their current contact base. That's great, but if I meet you, you have 250 people in your contact base. And then when I meet you, you have 250 in your contact base. So as I get to know them, I have grown my circle of my contact base, which is more and more people that I can sell to, recruit to, and build my business, because my family of circle is only going to go so far. My goal when I signed up for Scentsy, besides becoming director, is I wanted to be known as the Scentsy lady. I wanted people, if you heard the name Scentsy, you automatically said Lisa Babb. So that was something I had wanted to achieve for myself. I live in a very small town, so I knew it was something that I could actually do. So I didn't want to be known as just, oh, she just sells candles. No, I wanted to be the Scentsy person, and I wanted to be taken seriously. So the biggest thing that for me was such a compliment is when I would be somewhere and someone would come up to me, a business professional, somebody in a suit and tie that was very professional, and they would come to me and say, you're the real deal. You get it, and I respect you for that. And that was huge for me, because then I knew that I was doing the right thing. I was on the right path. I was going to the right places, and they were taking me serious. So there's lots of ways to network. How can we network? How do we get out of our little circle that we have? And the first one, which is probably the most obvious that most of you maybe are already doing or thinking about doing, is doing events and getting yourself out there doing an event. When I first joined Scentsy, I spent the very first 2 years doing every single event that there ever was in my area. I worked every single weekend. I did sometimes 2 and 3 events a week. I worked it. But I really wanted to, again, grow my business and hit my goals. So my very first event I did, I'd never done events, I hit my shooting star, so I had all the contents in my shooting star kit, and I thought, I can do this, I can do an event, I can sell. I love the product, I know everything about it, I'm going to do an event. So I was doing a brew fest, and it was $100 to do the event, which I had no idea at that time if that was good, bad, or other, but it was an event that I was able to get into. I was a little disappointed, I was there all day, and left my children to be able to do this event, and through the day I sold $100. And I was really discouraged, so I thought, wow, you know, $100 really doesn't mean I made $100, I made $25 in commission. So I was a little down, a little bummed, thinking, well, maybe events is not where it's at for me. Maybe that's not what's going to get me to that next level. At my events, at my home parties, anytime I'm around others, if you do not have these, I recommend you do. These are Scentsy's drawing tablets. You can get them in the Scentsy Family store. I think it's maybe $5. You get enough that will last you for a very long time. These will be your best friend. I am not a salesperson, I'm not a cold caller, but if someone check marks on the side that they're interested in hosting, buying, or joining, it gives me the okay. It may take me a week, but it gives me the okay to call them. Like, it gives me the confidence that they want me to call them. So after I did my first event, I had all of the information filled out, and I took all of that information, and I went to my Scentsy workstation. I went to my contacts. If you are not using your contacts, you need to start using them. That's a wonderful tool. Scentsy sends out a newsletter on the first Wednesday of every month, and it is free. You don't have to do a single thing. It automatically goes out to all of the contacts you have an email to that says, yes, I'd like your newsletter. So that's a tool I guarantee you should start using. So I sent out, or put all my information into my contacts, and I get an email from a woman named Shelly. And she says, you know, hi, I'd like to have a Scentsy party. And I'm all excited because, again, I only have my little circle of family and friends. And when I use my workstation and I use my contacts, there's a notes section. That is my favorite part of the contact section, because I will note there how I met that person. So if I met them at a home party, I will put Susie's home party. So when that person calls me, I can say, oh yes, I remember you. I met you at Susie's house and you loved black raspberry vanilla. And they're going to go, wow, she's awesome. And they're like, no, I just read it because I But make that connection. I can link so many back to Shelly. I have customers I've met through her that I service their entire real estate office. I service their entire office building that they do because I met Shelly. When I look back at that one contact that I did at an event that I was so sad about, like, why did I spend a day away from my children? Why did I spend the $100? I have made more money off of meeting Shelly. So don't get discouraged. Events are about meeting potential customers, potential recruits, and getting your name out there. It's all about networking. So as I'm doing events, and even 3 years ago when I started, it was hard to find events because I would call and there's already a Scentsy consultant doing an event. So I was getting very discouraged because I want to be the Scentsy person, but I can't do it if I can't get in. So when I would be at an event, I'm sitting next to the lady that sells Mary Kay, and I'm sitting next to someone that sells Avon. There's someone over here, selling some makeup. Those are your best friends. Yes, you want to meet all of your customers, but you want to meet the people that are next to you. So I grab my calendar, I come next to the person, and I say, hi, I'm Lisa, and we get chatting. I said, can I see your calendar? Where are you going to be at next week? Oh, well, I'm doing this church carnival. Have you heard about it? Of course I haven't heard about it, and so we're writing out information. I tell her, hey, I'm going to be at a school carnival. It's $25. Here's the lady's name, and I give her my card, and I write it down. We've networked, because most of the events that I do now, it's not from something I Google. Yes, you're going to try to want to do all the big home and garden events and all the home shows, because that's what you can easily find, but you can't get into them. Network with the people that are around you and find out where they're going to be, because they have contacts. Remember, we're growing our contact base, and find out where they're going to be next. And that's how I get most of my events. Well, as this was going on for me, as I'm meeting all these different vendors, and they're telling me, oh, that was great, thanks for telling me about that event. Can you tell me the next time you're doing something? And I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm collecting their cards. And of course, I'm putting all of their cards into my workstation contact. Everybody needs to know that Lisa Babb sells Scentsy. It's going out every month to them. Well, I started to go, how am I going to remember to call all of these people when I find out about a new event? Because I'm hearing about things all the time. So I created a Facebook page, and I called it Vendor Groupies. We are a bunch of women and men that all group together, and we help each other. So as I find out an event, I will post it on our group page and network with them. So when someone else over there finds out that they're doing a school carnival or they're doing some event that they are knowing about, they will post it on that group page, and we all share. So I have more events that I get off of my vendor groupie page than I can find if I sat on the computer all day long Googling. Because there are things that they know about that maybe are not in the newspaper, or they're just things that they know that are through their small school. So network with those. Create your own network. You don't have to rely on what's out there. You make it happen for you, and you can have great results with that. Other ways you can network are things that you're doing already every day that you don't realize you're doing, is networking socially. All of us here have children, grandchildren. We're going to constantly basketball games and soccer games and water polo. You have to be there anyway, right? Well, let's work it with your business. So every time I go somewhere, because I also sell Scentsy and Grace-Adele and Volata, can't take my Volata cup with me, I have my purse, and I make sure my catalogs are sticking out, so that way if there's someone next to me, oh my gosh, is that a catalog? Oh yeah, do you need one? Here you go, and I'll hand them their catalog. If I'm bored while the game's going on, maybe I'll have out my little mini testers, and I'm smelling. I know what they all smell like. I've smelled them. But I just will kind of get them out, and the person's like, is that lip gloss? No, it's the Scentsy testers. Have you heard of Scentsy? Do you know what Scentsy is? And seriously, a lot of people do not still. So don't assume the person next to you knows what you're doing. Maybe the catalog is not enough to intrigue them. Let them see you with something that you're smelling. Oh, here, you want to smell them? You will get the people all around you going. So take advantage of the times that you're out. You have to be there anyway, right? So make some sales with your business. We all have to go to PTA meetings. We all have to go to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, mock groups. We're all part of tons of things that we feel like take up our life that we're going to. Brand yourself. Be in your shirt. Have your blingy Scentsy flip-flop. Have something on. Even if you're at a professional type event, have something on you, whether it's your purse or something that they know that you are Scentsy, so that you can at least have that opportunity. And what I love to do when I'm at all of these functions, all these school functions and all these PTA meetings, what do they all need? They all need money, right? They're all trying to figure out how they can grow their groups and how they can make more money. And so I take that opportunity to say, oh, just by the way, I don't know if you know, but I sell Scentsy and I donate 100% of my commission. So if it ever comes up where you need something, just let me know. I do all the packets, you don't have to do any work, doesn't cost you a thing. Just let me know. Well, you may not get the PTA, but maybe the lady over there is in charge of a Girl Scout troop, and maybe she's thinking, oh, well, that's great. We're just starting up our group, and we could really use the money. You never know where you plant the seeds and who can benefit known as that Scentsy person. There's a lot of people out there that don't know what Scentsy is. There's a lot of people out there that do know what Scentsy is, but they don't have a consultant. Their consultant moved away. Their consultant is no longer doing it. Their consultant isn't very good. And so a lot of times when I get talking to them and I make the comments about, oh, I do this and I do that, and their Scentsy person does not, it really can help you build your business. I do deliveries to all my customers, and I give them their light bulbs and just different little things that I will do for them, just to let them know that there are good consultants out there. Because you're selling yourself, and you want them to see your passion and how much you love what you do. The other way that you can network is on social media, which is probably the most obvious that most of us do. Facebook is free, so it's an easy thing to do. You also have Twitter, and you've got Pinterest, and you have all the other outlets to do it on. I love using social media. It's a great way. I love it, but I don't want that to be the core of my business. I need to personally know you and get a connection. I'm not going to get the connection behind my Facebook post. You're not going to get to know me. You're not going to be loyal to me. I have people I meet at events. I've built a connection with them. They love me, and they will not buy from anybody else because they trust me. But over Facebook, they're not going to have that trust, that loyalty. And so you can use Facebook, but don't rely on that to be your only source. You need to get out, network, and grow the relationships. And remember, on Facebook, you cannot post any personal specials. And so when it comes back to what I was talking about, when you're entering everybody into your contacts, into your workstation, I take my contacts actually one step further. I love the Scentsy newsletter. It's free. It goes out. You don't have to think about it. But I use MailChimp, and it's a free service, and I can create my own newsletters. I can make myself a lot more personal. MailChimp. M-A-I-L, and then chimp, like a monkey. Once you get used to it, it's super easy. If not, get my card and we can chat later. You can create your own newsletters. You can make them more personal. Because these are all customers that you have imported from your Scentsy contact on your workstation, you've imported into MailChimp, you've created your own newsletter, you've made it your own, you've made it more personal. You can offer some personal specials because those are your customers and you're doing it in private. So maybe I'm having a Black Friday special. Order this and I'll throw in a 3-pack of bars, or whatever your special wants to be. That's a great way, and I actually get a lot more feedback and orders off of my personal MailChimp, because if someone meets me at an event, but they met somebody else somewhere else, and they've also got their information, they might get the same Scentsy newsletter 3 different times. I know I get the 31 newsletter from 5 of my friends. It's the same one. I get relieved because it's the same thing. There's nothing special. It doesn't jump out at me. Mine are very different. Mine have some personal specials. Mine are just a little more in their face to help get them to hopefully come to me as a customer. So now I'm about 6 months into my business, and the thing that I started to just support my habit is now starting to, I can see that it's a business, starting to grow, and I've been hit director, and I quit my job. So double yay. So I was very excited that I had hit the goals that I had set for myself, but I still wasn't happy. I still was not where I wanted to be, and I knew that I needed to do more. I was doing the events, I was, doing the home parties, but I was still feeling a little bit too safe. I hadn't stepped out of my comfort zone, and I hadn't done the things that I felt like were going to get me to the next level. And the magic happens when you step out of your comfort zone. And that's where I felt like I needed to be for the next step. I needed to still meet more new people. And my biggest successes started when I stepped out of my house, when I got out and started to meet people. So the first thing I did is I live in a very small town, and so I joined my local chamber of commerce. And my town, and there's a town literally 7 miles down the road, and I joined that local chamber of commerce. Some of you that live in bigger cities, the chamber of commerce may not be an affordable thing that you can do. Check with your chamber, find out how they support you. My little town is amazing, and they support me. When I joined the 2 chambers, they wanted to throw me a ribbon cutting, and I'm like, what are we cutting the ribbon in front of? I don't have a store. What are we doing here? And they really pushed me into it, and they had it at their office, invited all of the chamber members to attend. So everybody came down. I cut the ribbon. I had my stock. I was actually selling items there because people were coming to see, oh, you have Scentsy, great, let me buy it. They did an article in the newspaper on me with all of my information. So I now have free advertisement just for joining the local chamber of commerce. Also, as a member of the Chamber of Commerce, you will tend to get first dibs at an event. So my Chamber of Commerce, they call me up and they say, Lisa, this event is this day. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good. I don't have to be the first one in. It's mine because I'm a member of that Chamber of Commerce. When you are a member, you can also attend. They have monthly meetings. So I can go and have lunch, and who doesn't want to go have lunch, you know? So I go once a month. I take all of my little monthly scent samples that I make for the scent of the month with a little scent on it. And I get there early because I'm kind of nervous. I don't want to be doing it in front of people because I'm a very, very shy person, believe it or not. So as I go to luncheon, I will have all of my little flyers set out on all the tables. When everybody gets there, I've advertised to all the people at the meeting. So it's free advertisement for me, and I had lunch. Needed to have lunch anyway. So why not? It's a win-win. The nice thing also, you do not have to be a chamber member to attend ribbon cutting. So if you cannot afford to maybe join the chamber in your area, you can still go to all of the ribbon cutting. So I would like all of the pages of all of the other local chambers in my area, because I couldn't join them all. And if they're having a ribbon cutting, which I get an invitation to one probably about once a week, you can go and you can be around other business owners with your business cards, and you can network with them. So as I'm at a networking function, they're doing a ribbon cutting for the business. They want as many people to attend as possible. They're trying to support their new business that's opening up. So I'm going nervous as all heck, because again, I just sell candles, but I'm trying to have the persona that I'm a business owner, that this is my business and this is what I take very serious. And as I started attending more and more, I would have business professionals come up to me and they would tell me, they would say, wow, you're the real deal. You take this very serious. And it was a big compliment to me because they didn't see me as just a direct sale person or that I just sold candles. They really saw me as a business owner like them. So as I would go to these functions, I would share my business card, find out what they do, and I would tell them, if it was, for instance, a real estate office, I would tell them, well, that's great. I'm glad you're in real estate. Just so you know, I support all the real estate offices. If you have a new homeowner, give me a call. I'll make a welcome basket for your new homeowners. I'll deliver them to your office, and they have got a gift ready for them when they move in. That you don't have to worry about putting a package together. They love it. Who wants to have to go out and buy a gift? So I have a real estate office locally that buys between 3 and 5 a month for me. What I love about that, of course, it's a great order every month that comes in. But when that new homeowner moves into their home, maybe they move from another state, another town, from who knows where, they have a basket waiting for them, and inside that basket has all of my information. I have labeled the bars, I have labeled everything. So I have now a new potential customer. So I've grown my business by doing that also. So then I started searching online, besides doing just the little more Chamber of Commerce that I do, because I thought, well, if that's working, I want to do more networking. I want to get beyond just those things that I'm doing. There's a local chapter here in San Francisco called the E-Women's Network. I'm part of the one in our Fresno chapter. It is absolutely my favorite. You can also join the HeartLink, which is another chapter that's all over. There's different cities that they have them in. Another one that I really enjoy is meetup.com. If you go to that, you can enter your information of where you live and what you're looking for, that you're wanting to network with other business professionals, and I'm telling you, you will be bombarded with more places than you can attend. So there's a lot of ways to get out there. I also do speed networking, which is one of my favorites because you're in a group and you have people around you and you're in a group, and I, for 30 seconds, talk to you about my business, and then you talk to me. We exchange cards and I move on. Because I'm very shy and it's very hard for me to just go up to a random stranger, it takes the pressure off because I just have to go for 60 seconds around the room and meet new people. I then take all their business cards and I put them into my contacts. So I have more and more contacts in my contact station. So what do you do when you get to a networking event? You're going to grow your business, you're building that relationship, you're building that trust so that they know who to refer business to. The thing I will say about networking is you're not going to attend a networking event and you're not going to come out of there after your first time and have a recruit, a customer, a sale. Maybe you will have a random sale. Networking is about going more and more and building that relationship with them over time. So you really have to put the time and effort into it and not expect that it's just going to be, I'm going to show up, hi, I sell Scentsy, and your business is going to grow from that. You need to build that relationship and build the trust for those that you're networking with. So when I went to my very first one was speed networking that I went to, and I was scared out of my mind. I had no idea what speed networking was or even what networking was. So as I walked in, there was a woman there. Her name was Linda, and I think she saw the fear in my eyes that I didn't know what I was doing. And she took me under her wing. She was my networking mentor and has helped me grow to where I am today. And she taught me some things that I use now when I network. She told me, she says, when you go to some place, you never sit at a table with someone that you know. She says, help them. What she also taught me is how to network and how to build the relationships, and it's all about building the trust. So when the person comes up to me and I hand them my business card and I tell them who I am and what I do, and a lot of times they don't know what Scentsy is, and I have to explain to them, which is great. I love that. I explain what I sell. And when the person tells me, hi, my name is Linda, I work for Take Shape for Life, I have no idea what that means. I don't know what she does. I can't help her. So what I learned was when I meet her is I will say, hi, I'm Lisa, and find out her name is Linda. And I ask Linda, what would be a good lead for you? And then Linda would say, well, I'm a health coach with Take Shape for Life, and I look for anyone that is overweight, that is on diabetes, or has diabetes, is on medication, and I can help them get off of their medication. And then I tell them, oh my gosh, you know what, I have someone actually that I know that's perfect, that's actually trying to do that, and I write that information down and I pass the card to her. Linda now has a trust for me that I'm actually trying to help her, and then I tell her what I have to offer for her, the type of a lead that would help me. I usually go with the real estate. I push more for that into the commercial sales than the home parties, and so I tell her, I try to help all real estate offices with all of their new homeowner basket leads. If you know somebody in real estate, and we all do, right? Everybody knows somebody in real estate. Can you please pass my name on to them? I can help them. I do all the delivery. I'll do all the setup. I do everything for them. I keep a few on hand, so if they needed it yesterday, I can have it ready for them. So I tell them what I offer for them. And then now her and I have built a relationship. We've built the trust, and we will continue to grow that. Every time I see Linda, she'll remember that, and she'll refer me, hey, I know someone that's looking for that type of a service, and will pass that lead on to me. So this training is on how simple networking leads to recruiting growth, and possibly you all are sitting here wondering, I haven't even talked about recruiting. You just think I'm talking about how to network, but I haven't even got into recruiting. So my first 3 years with Scentsy, I recruited personally 63 new consultants onto my team, and I was asked all the time, how did you do that? How did you get so many recruits? And I seriously would look at them and be like, I don't know, I just got lucky. Like, I never really had an answer. I didn't know. I was like, I don't know, they just joined. And I started to think, well, no, I had to do something, because people don't just join, right? Because I'm doing something right. So I sat down one day, and I pulled through all of the list of my recruits that I had recruited in my first 3 years. And as I went through to figure out how I met them and how I got them as new consultants, I realized that 3% of my recruits came from fundraising, which is great. We all love fundraising. There's nothing better than giving back to the community and helping with all of your growth that way. It can help you with PRV you're needing to get to your next sales goal. 5% of my recruits came from being branded. So I'm just doing what I do every day. I'm wearing my Scentsy shirt, my hat, having my Grace Adele purse, that type of thing. So that's something I was easily doing. 10% of my recruits came from my customers. Well, we all know they already love their product. They're buying from me anyway, so it's an easy flip to get them in to be a consultant. 17% of my recruits came from vendor groups, which made me feel good because I spent 2 years of my life living at vendor events, and I know that 17% of that came from that effort was something that I knew was the right thing I was doing. 19% of my recruits came from family and friends. Those saw the passion in me, and those actually were the easiest because most of those just joined because they saw me going to the Dominican Republic, they saw me going to Hawaii, they saw me going to Cancun to training. So those joined. But then I learned that 1/3 of all of my recruits came from networking and referrals. So then I knew I was doing something right. The fact that once I stepped out of my comfort zone and was going to networking events, that those people then were the ones that I was able to get the most recruiting from. So don't give up. You gotta keep putting yourself out there, and you need to sell yourself and show the passion that you have. For me, networking is just not about meeting other businesses. It's also about networking with other consultants. I attend Scentsy Leadership in Cancun every year, and I will tell you my favorite part is not sitting and drinking the free beer. It's not sitting at the pool. It's not eating the free food. My favorite part of convention or leadership is sitting with other Scentsy leaders. I have learned more from other consultants by sitting there and talking to them and finding out how their business is going, what challenges they're having that maybe I'm also having. I exchange my business card with them, and I then all of the time will talk with them through the course of the time where I'm like, how did you deal with this obstacle? How did you deal with that? And they'll come to me and ask. I learned more from other consultants than probably my own team, because that's where you want to be. You need to make the connection. All of you here are probably sitting next to someone you know, someone you came with. You're all in your comfort zone right now. Everybody is not uncomfortable. What I want you to do is find somebody in this room you've never met, that you don't know, and you need to make a connection. Get your business card, find out who they are, where they're from, what their obstacles are, make a connection with somebody, and exchange that card, friend them on Facebook,